Spy, trailblazer, war hero, and mother of the CIA. Baltimore native Virginia Hall was one of the world's most successful spies, fluent in 5 languages. Hall suffered an accident that left her with a prosthetic and unable to fulfill her dream of becoming a diplomat. But that's when her job became dangerous. During World War II, she volunteered as an ambulance driver in France and lived multiple cover lives to spy on the Nazis and gather intelligence before D-Day.
She was trained in how to live a cover. She was trained how to communicate clandestinely, how to use a radio, how to run an agent network, how to pick up surveillance, classic espionage tradecraft.
Virginia Hall earned the Distinguished Service Cross, the only female civilian to receive that honor during World War II. She later helped establish the CIA, and much of her work is still classified. Hall passed away back in 1982. And women continue to make strides among their ranks, breaking barriers even today, in some cases the sound barrier. Captain Katie Higgins, a graduate of the U.S. Naval Academy in Annapolis, is the first woman ever to fly with the Flight Demonstration Squadron, the Blue Angels, during air shows. Until she was put in the cockpit of Fat Albert, the U.S. Marine Corps C-130 plane, women had only served in support roles with the Blue Angels. And while she says she doesn't feel anything less than part of the team, Captain Higgins says she's proud to inspire the young women of tomorrow's generation.
I think this team has been poised to accept a woman for many, many years now. We just needed to find the right person for the right job. If I can show them that they can do whatever they want to do, then I'm doing my job.
Captain Higgins is a third-generation military pilot. She's flown some 400 combat hours in the Middle East and Africa as well. Well, over the years, women have also changed the face of the Baltimore City Fire Department. 11 News reporter Lisa Robinson takes a look at the women who paved the way and talks to current female firefighters about what it's meant for them.
The Baltimore City Fire Department's world changed drastically in 1987. That year, Andrea McFarland graduated from the Fire Academy, becoming the first woman to work as a firefighter in the city's 128-year history. McFarland stayed for 9 years. She paved the way for women like Lieutenant Vernice Hilton. The 26-year veteran joined the fire department in 1989. She says when she walked through the door, she could tell the guys didn't want her there until she proved herself.
That I could run in the building, fight the fire, bust down the doors, overhaul, everything, pretty much, decision-making, everything.
We've come a long way since the 80s.
Battalion Chief Laura Shiloh is a 28-year veteran of the fire service. She has spent her career as a medic-paramedic in the department. From the Old Town Station on Hillen Road, Shiloh runs all EMS crews during her shift.
It's still a male-dominated job, but back then it was much worse. You had to prove yourself to get any respect from your peers, and it took a while. You're scrutinized a little bit more, but once you prove yourself, you're accepted.
While saving people in the streets of Baltimore, Shiloh raised a family, proud of her work. Now her son wants to step into her shoes.
My parents are always bragging. It's embarrassing. My kids look up to it. They think it's pretty cool. My son's trying to get in now, and he wants to follow in the footsteps and come into the department.
In what order are you going to take this up?
Maya McConnell is a captain at the Fire Academy. The 11-year veteran oversees the recruits and teaches classes. She's grateful to McFarland, Hilton, and Shiloh for paving the way.
And where is all this stuff right now?
I know that in terms of recruitment, we have a better idea of, finding the right female and making sure that you find the female that's going to be more successful. So we've improved in that sense in the time that I've been here.
And at the end of the day, when we leave, people, they thank us for coming, thank us for helping them, their family during their crisis. It's just it's a rewarding job.
Thanks to the courage of these women and many more who helped pave the way, Baltimore's Best now has almost 200 brave women working alongside their male counterparts. Lisa Robinson, WBAL TV 11 News.
And I'm joined now with Teresa Everett. She joined Baltimore's Fire Department last May as Assistant Chief. Thank you for coming by.
Glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
For people who may not understand what an Assistant Chief does, what is your role in Baltimore here?
Well, actually, as an Assistant Chief, my primary responsibilities, I supervise fire dispatch, which is the component that sends the calls out to the firefighters and allows them to respond. I recently took on call takers, which is the entity that answers the phones when you call in to 911. I also have the Office of the Fire Marshal, which is code enforcement, public education, and I also have logistics, which provides the resources to the fire department. So that's my primary responsibility. However, as an assistant chief, you have to be prepared to do whatever comes your way on any given day.
If you got to put the helmet on, you got to put the helmet on.
Whatever comes your way, be prepared.
You've been in different cities and held similar roles. Over the years, how has the environment changed for women who have wanted to be or have become firefighters?
Well, I think in some respects it has changed. I think the fire service as a whole is more receptive and understanding of the important role that women play in the fire service. I've had the opportunity to serve as a fire chief in 2 other jurisdictions, so I've had the opportunity to see what it's like to start at one level and then see it from another perspective. So I do think it is more receptive of women today, and I think women, for the most part, are embracing the opportunity to serve in the fire service.
Sure. I was reading an article about a woman who became our first firefighter and what she went through and the challenges that were then.
Right.
What challenges still exist, if any, for a woman who wants to be a firefighter?
Well, I think there'll also always be a perception that women come to the fire service with different sets of skills. It's perceived that this is a very physically demanding job, which it is, and I think there'll always be a thought that perhaps women need to go a step further in order to meet that physical demand. So there are still those challenges. There are work schedule challenges, so if you're a single family person, or which a male could be, you have those challenges of making sure you have child care for your children, because we do work varying schedules. It's not just 9 to 5.
When you walk into a school or if a young group walks by the firehouse and they see you, do you still feel like that inspiration is there? And what's your message to young girls?
My message is that the fire service is an opportunity. It's an option. It's not something that may be traditional, but it's something that I think they should consider. A lot of women don't realize that this is a profession. It's not a job, it's a profession. It's something that you can commit yourself to for your entire life. It offers many options. You can work at a fire station, you can work in hazmat, you can work in communications, you work in education. So it offers a wide variety of career opportunities within one profession.
And there's plenty of excitement. You're not sitting at a desk all day.
Yes, that is a plus. Not being stationary. We do have jobs that are primary at desk, but it's always challenging. It's always different. It's something new each and every day.
Sure. I appreciate the work you do.
Thank you.
For coming
Thanks
by.
for having me.
Certainly.